So this practice, prove the following the multiple angle formulas. So to prove that these formulas, we can use the addition formula for the trigonometric functions. Sine alpha plus beta equals sine alpha cosine beta plus cosine alpha sine beta. So in the case of the negative, it becomes just negatives here. Also in the case of the cosines, cosine alpha plus beta equal cosine alpha cosine beta. In this case negative. Sine alpha sine beta. So also in the case of the negative sign, it becomes positive here. Okay, this is the basic equation to prove solve these questions. So in the case of the alpha equal betas, sine 2 alpha is expressed to sine alpha cosine betas because of the positive sign. In the case of the cosine 2 alpha equal cosine square alpha minus sine square alpha. Also, we have a very important equation for the sine and cosine. Sine square alpha plus cosine square alpha equal 1. Because the x coordinate for the circle with a radius of 1, this is x coordinate, and the y coordinate of the point on the circle with a radius of the 1. Square of the x plus square of y should be equal to the 1. So from these equations, sine square alpha equal 1 minus cosine square alpha. If you substitute these equations here, it becomes 2 cosine square alpha minus 1. Okay, so this is double angle formulas, very useful equations. Then sine 3 alpha, then it becomes sine 2 alpha plus alpha. Then we can use addition formulas. Sine 2 alpha cosine alpha plus cosine 2 alpha sine alpha. Right? Then for the sine 2 alpha, cosine 2 alpha, we can use this double angle formulas. Then you can just substitute 2 sine alpha cosine square alpha plus 2 cosine square alpha minus 1 sine alpha. Then it becomes 4 sine alpha cosine square alpha minus sine alpha. Then this part, you can use these equations. Cosine square alpha equal 1 minus sine square alpha. Then you can substitute here. Then final answer becomes 3 sine alpha minus 4 sine cube alpha. Okay, this is a triple angle formulas for the sine. Also, you can use the same ways to prove the triple angle formula for the cosines. Cosine 2 alpha plus alpha, cosine 2 alpha, cosine alpha minus sine 2 alpha, sine alpha. Cosine 2 alpha is a 2 cosine square alpha minus 1 cosine alpha minus 2 sine square alpha cosine alpha. Then you can express sine 2 alpha is 1 minus cosine square alpha. Then it becomes 4 cosine cube alpha minus 3 cosine alpha. So this is triple angle formula for the cosine. And the sine, we have very similar equations we obtain. Then question is cosine 5x. So again, we can use addition formulas for the cosine. 3x plus 2x. This is cosine 3x, cosine 2x, minus sine 3x, sine 2x. Then you can substitute all the equations. For the cosine 3x is a 4 cosine cube x minus 3 cosine x. And for the cosine 2x is 2 cosine square x minus 1. For the sine 3x times sine 2x, it becomes sine x 3 minus 4 sine square x 2 sine x cosine x. Okay, then you can expand these equations. Its final answer is 16 cosine 5th x minus 20 cosine cube x plus 5 cosine x. Okay, so this is the answer to these questions.